ready.
How you doing, everybody? John Estes here again with Coach Lindsey for the 2016 Raider Nation. Got a few questions I'd like to ask you. I hope you're ready, sir.
I'm ready.
All right. First of all, I want to congratulate you on a first year that was fantastic. Went to the playoffs, had a good showing. I noticed that we've got a good foundation. We got 5 starters coming back on each side. Had a couple of camps this summer. Want to talk a little bit, maybe recap the summer and let everybody know how that went.
We did. We went to, we started at Reinhardt Camp. It's a helmet shoulder pad camp, and just kind of gets us tuned up for the season. You know, where we're as inexperienced as we are, we needed a contact camp. We get enough of the 7-on-7 stuff around here, so
right.
It was good for us to have a good contact camp, and went there, and then we came back, and in July we went to Kennesaw State and had one day of the same kind of camp.
And that was kind of a lot of contact there, or that was, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
as much as Georgia High School allow now.
Right, right.
It's tough
Because
to get.
there are a lot of restrictions,
There
of
are.
course. Started off the season with North Cobb. Maybe we can recap with that. It was a preseason game. It doesn't mean a lot, but it kind of gives us an idea of where we are, some things we can work on. So what did we learn from North Cobb?
We got a lot to work on. You know, North Cobb's a big physical team,
Sure.
and that's why we really scheduled them to begin with. Coach Queen told me he had a lot of guys coming back this year, and felt like they were going to be really good. And you know, they exposed a lot of things. We're not as physical as we need to be, not as experienced football-wise, and you know, they had some big nasty kids, and it was good for us. Sometimes you need to eat a little humble pie, and we needed some of that, and plus we needed that, you know, big team experience, and that's what North Cobb gave us in the scrimmage.
Right, right. I definitely agree with that. So let's kind of go ahead and move on to Harrison. First regular season game. Again, not a division rival, but definitely a rival. Can you give us some highlights from that and some stuff we took away from that game?
Well, you know, we came out, we took the opening drive, we had a great kickoff return. Dylan Prater returned the ball over to about the 40-yard line, our 40, and so we had a great start. Went down, scored, got a penalty, backed us up, and it's just hard to overcome penalties. We wound up stalling out, 4th and long. We attempted a field goal and had the distance, just didn't put it between the uprights. So we come away with no points, and you know, it's kind of like I feel like if we would have scored that opening possession, we'd got some confidence, and it would have really fired us up. But instead, I think it kind of went the other way for us. And
right.
Harrison came out, quarterback, is a phenomenal player. You know, did some good things running. You know, when he got loose in the pocket, we had a hard time containing him. And also, man, he threw the ball. It was on a rope when he let it go. Had a receiver that did a real good job. Our young DBs, I mean, we're playing a lot of sophomores back there and first-year juniors, and you know, they're getting right now. It's baptism by fire. So, you know, you go back and you look at that game. I felt like we controlled the run pretty good, but we just gave up bombs, and you can't do that. You can't give up deep balls for easy scores. So between that and the penalties, we killed ourselves. You know,
Yeah.
we had 15 penalties, and 12 of them were dead ball. And it wasn't like they were personal fouls. We had a couple personal fouls, but it was lining up offsides and false starts on offense and things that I don't know if that's just being young and nervous.
Right.
You know, but, you know, we just kind of, receivers jumping off sides. I mean, that just don't happen, and we had that happen a lot. So, you know, right now I just feel like we're playing ourselves every Friday night right now.
Right, right. So again, we've got North Paulding coming up. Not a division game again, but wanted to talk to you a little bit about that. How do you feel we match up with North Paulding?
You know, our kids are going to play. They're going to be excited to play North Paulding.
Right.
It's a big rivalry game, and you know, I know Coach Jones made some new hires this offseason. He's got a new offensive coordinator, and they look a little more balanced offensively. You know, got some good players. They do a good job coaching there. 7A school, so you know they got a lot of numbers out, and you know they've got a big-time receiver that's really good. I feel like they got some good running backs, and I feel like they're solid. I really do. I feel like on both sides of the ball they're solid. Defensively, they're well coached. You know, some things I think that you know we got to go there. We're playing at their home field, so I think we got a lot of odds stacked against us. They're sitting over there right now, 2-0. Have played a game more than we have,
Right.
and they're 2-0 right now, and we're over here at 0-1, and trying to figure out who we are. So, we'll go in, line up. I think we'll get a great effort from our kids, and if we're in position to make the play, then I hope we'll make it. And that's kind of where we're at right now.
Right, right. And I don't want to talk too much about strategy, but I do know, from watching game film and from watching, actually watched the game last week. I went to South Paulding and watched them. Young quarterback, defense struggling a little bit. They got a lot of their points against South Paulding against mistakes that South Paulding made. And me personally, I believe if we can clean up our mistakes, then it's going to be a good game. What are some kind of things you feel that we can attack? Not a game strategy, but what are some weaknesses you think we can exploit on the North Paulding team?
I don't know so much if they got weaknesses. It's just a matter of us making the play. Right now like I said, we've shot ourselves in the foot with turnovers and penalties and special teams mistakes, and so far we've looked a lot like South Paulding looked against them. And until we clean that up, we're playing ourselves. I told our kids we've got to play ourselves Friday night. So when you look at them, they're solid. They got good players.
Right.
I feel like we've got good players. They do a good job on special teams. I feel like we do too. I mean, I don't know any other way. We've got a kid that's been long snapping for us. This is his second year.
Yeah.
And, he's made mistakes this year that he didn't make last year. So,
Right.
Those are things that we long snap every day. He's trying to work on it and get it fixed, and he's getting better every day. And, just some things that, we just need game experience right now. And I think if we go out and play our best, like you said, I think it'll be a good game.
Right. Yeah, and I actually was talking to his father, and I know that, he snapped long snap for 2 years.
Yeah.
Brilliant job. Brilliant job. Things happen.
That's right.
They're kids. We
Yep.
make mistakes. I've
Yep.
seen the pros do it. So let's move on.
Well, I want to say this.
Sure,
I
yes.
believe in the kid,
Oh, I do too.
and he's getting better.
Good kid.
But he's getting back to his old self,
Sure.
wherever or whatever happened to him before. I see him getting better. So
Right.
I think that hopefully those days are behind us.
So let's talk injury real quick, kind of do a brief injury report. Do we have any injuries that may affect some play time? Do we have anything significant that we might need to think about?
Chance Foster was one of them, one of our young DBs that was really coming on, and he's going to be out for about 6 weeks. I can't exactly remember what they call it, but basically it's a leg injury. So he's going to be out for about 6 weeks. But, other than that, we're just banged up a little here and there, but nothing major.
Super, super. So let me ask you this: how about our depth? How do you feel about our depth chart? Are we looking pretty good? And some areas, we have some areas that need filling in. Talk to us a little bit about our depth.
Well, we've got, our senior class, we've got a lot of seniors that are playing. But when you look at it immediately, just about in every position, we go to sophomores after that.
Right.
And at 5A level, Georgia high school football, the region we're in right now, we've got a real tough region coming up, and those kids have got to grow up fast.
Right.
And there's no way. We try to speed that process up with the camps. Those are things during the summer we can do to speed it up, to give them a full game speed. But right now, we just need to play. Those kids just need to play and be coached hard and figured out. And, like I said, a lot of it's baptism by fire. Depth-wise, we've got some depth. We're playing some kids both ways a little bit till those young ones can grow up and we can get more confidence in them. But, at high school football, unless you're at a private school or a city school, you're kind of stuck with what you got.
Well, Coach, actually, speaking of seniors, we just sat down with number 17, Dylan Prater. So let's go inside the locker room and take a look. All right, we're inside the locker room with Dylan Prater. How are you doing, my son?
Good, how are you?
All right. Let me ask you this. When did you start playing football?
When I was 4 years old.
4 years old.
Yes, sir.
So what parks did you play? Did you play at local parks in Georgia or what?
Yes, sir. I played at IRN ballpark since I was about 10, and I went straight to New Hope. And then when I was 12, I was old enough to go play middle school ball. So I went from 6th grade to go play 7th grade football.
Oh, wow.
So I played 2 years of 7th grade.
And you did your middle school ball here, or did they still have middle school ball?
No, sir. I didn't do it here. We had to play for the team that we were going to in high school. So I was going to North, and I played for North my middle school year.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I did, and I transferred to East to come play here.
You had a lot of experience. All right.
Yes, sir.
So what position are you playing now?
I'm playing cornerback, kick return, and then he said Friday night I'm going to be playing some quarterback. But I'm starting at corner, and I'm punt returning too.
So how long have you played the prospective positions?
I've played corner for about 4 weeks now, and then I've played quarterback since junior year, and this is my first year punt returning and kick returning.
Cool, cool. I know that you did really good on a couple of returns. I saw them. I was like, yeah, all right. So what are your plans for the future?
My plans are going to go play football for 4 years, probably 5 if I can, and you know, get my degree. I want to do something in sports medicine. I want to, you know, stay within the region of sports. But if I don't ever go play after college football, that's what I want to do. I want to be a physical therapist, or, you know, if I can't do that, I'll go ESPN broadcasting. That's one of the things. I'll come back here and start out inside Raider Nation.
There you go. You're gonna
Yeah,
take
we'll
this
start
job.
here.
He's take this job. The position is open anytime you're ready. So let me know. All right, Dylan. We're still early in the season. We've got our favorite coming up, North Paulding. Now, knowing that they might see this and use this, careful what you say. What do you think about the upcoming game?
I think, well, last year I had no thought of the game. I thought I have to go in there, you know, I got to play my hardest, because I came from that school. I know everybody there, and I had something against it. You know, I had something to play for. And
You had something to prove.
yeah, I had to prove to all those
Sure,
people
sure.
I can play quarterback. I can play anything you put me at. And, you know, this year it's the same motive. I can play corner. I can cover Chad. You know, I can cover whatever receiver they throw out my way. You know, and it's personal again this year. Last year we sold out, and, you know, it was really scary when I saw everybody turn on their flashlights in the stands.
Right.
And I sat there and I was like, oh, God, please help me. So this year I'm expecting that to happen. I'm expecting it be sold out, everybody come. You know, my main goal is to shut down whatever receiver comes my way.
There you go. The thrill of Friday Night Lights, especially against a great opponent like North.
I've known almost all those
Right.
guys for the longest. Personally, you know, Chad is one of my great friends, Charles, a bunch of those guys.
Sure.
I've hung out with them, and
Right.
you know, we had great friendship when we were in middle school. But when it comes game time, you know, gotta put that aside.
You got to forget.
Not
You got to
that.
forget that we used to hang out. So let me ask you this: what are some lessons you're going to take away that you can apply to your life that you've learned in football?
I've learned you got to be a leader. The most important thing is when the odds are stacked against you, you gotta be the one to stand up and take the team. And like, if you have a family, you gotta be the leader of the family. You
Sure.
gotta take care of everybody. You gotta be the one who's in charge, putting the food on the table.
That's right.
And I've taken that you gotta trust other people. Like, if you have a job with a partner, you gotta trust they'll do their job and you do your job, and both y'all get paid.
That's right. That's a great thing about football is you are one person. You cannot catch it. You cannot throw it. You cannot intercept it. You cannot tackle every single play. It's just, that's the nature of the beast. There's an offense and there's a defense. 22 players make up a team. Dylan, I really appreciate that. It was a great interview, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh, that was a great interview with Dylan. By the way, we also got a chance to sit down with our outside linebacker, Vontavious Brunson. So let's take a look at that. Hey there, everybody. I'm in the locker room here with Vontavious Brunson. Good to see you, my friend. Got a couple quick questions for you. When did you start playing football? How old were you?
I was about 12, going into 6th grade, played at New Hope Park.
Oh, okay. So you didn't start till later on. That's pretty good. So I'm saying you played with New Hope, so I'm sure you played with a lot of kids around here.
Yes, sir.
Good, good. What position are you playing this year?
Outside linebacker.
Outside linebacker. How long have you played that?
It's about my first year.
This is your first year?
I experimented with it last year just a little bit, but
Okay.
it's about my first year. It was solid, just that one position.
Okay, okay. So what are your plans for the future? Do you plan on playing football in college?
Yes, sir. I want to go back to Mississippi football, but if anything that works, I'm going with it.
Any place you can get in. So are you looking at a college for football, or are you looking at a college for, I want to do this field of study, and this is where I think I'm going with a career?
I'm looking at the college for football right now, Mississippi Valley State. That's pretty much. It's my first college I had my eye on since I started playing.
Sure, sure. Okay, great. Tell me some of the lessons you've learned playing football.
Pretty hard. Just hard work. Keep working.
Hard. That's,
Show up every day.
some of the stuff that you guys do is incredible to me. You know, coming out 5 days a week and then turning around and going. So I'm saying hard work, discipline.
Ready for this game?
Which game?
North Paulding game.
Tell me about North Paulding.
North Paulding, it's not really, it's just, I'm more of a regional type of person. Because I haven't been here that long.
Sure.
I haven't really experienced the North Paulding rivalry like that.
So you don't have the fire.
It's there.
Oh, so you got some? Okay.
It's there, but
You're feeding off the other guys in the locker room, though, right?
that's it.
I can understand that. Well, Vontavious, I really appreciate it. Thank you for stopping by.
All right, thank you.
Coach, thank you very much. I appreciate that, Vontavious. While we're at it, I'd like to go ahead and talk about the seniors a little bit and say, how are the seniors filling the leadership gap?
It's been a little bit of a struggle, I'll be honest with you, at times with this year's senior class. Some of them have great leadership, some of them are lacking a lot. I'll just be honest with you. It's kind of a work in progress.
Right.
You know, in our society now, we've got a lot of selfish people, and it carries over to their kids a lot of times. But I've seen a lot of them grow up. I really, you know, I got in this business to change kids' lives. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Winning football games, absolutely. I'm 100%, and I'll fight you tooth and nail. But it's fun to watch kids grow up, and I'm watching these kids grow up. Some of them, you know, they're going to disappoint you a lot, but they're 16, 17, 18-year-old kids, and you know, you try to explain to them what life's all about. You try to get them to step in those leadership roles, and some of them just don't have it, but some of them have a lot of it. So we're kind of looking around for that a little bit. I keep telling them, I gave them a story back preseason. If you don't have any leadership, you know, you're going to have a very poor football team. If you have a coach-led team, you're going to have an average team. If you have a player-led team, you're going to have some ways a championship football team. And you know, last year we were a coach-led team, and you can see where it got us. I felt like we were a little better than average. We underachieved last year, in my opinion, just for that fact that we didn't get better. The players, I didn't feel like took the ownership for us to get better every day. I felt like we picked up this year with a coach-led team. I'm hoping to be able to send that to a player-led team. It hasn't got there yet. It takes time. Those are things that, you know, you don't build that relationship. You don't build those things overnight.
Right.
So I feel like we're closer to being a player-led team this year than we were last year. So I'm hoping to get to that point. You know, we played a tough schedule right now, and everybody's kind of looking around a little bit, seeing who's going to step up. So it's kind of good for us. I hope this Friday night we start figuring out, you know, who our leaders are and what they're all about.
Right. Well, guys, I really appreciate it. Thank you, Coach Lindsey, very much. It was a pleasure sitting down with you, and I hope you guys all enjoyed that edition of Inside the Raider Nation.